Welcome back, everybody. We have a new guest here. It's Jenn here from Miami. She's originally from San Diego. She has an amazing story, a fitness influencer, a coach, all kinds of things. I'm not going to take the shine away from her story. I'm going to let her tell you her version of her amazingness. My girl, let's hit it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Clinton. I'm from San Diego. I moved to Miami about 4 or 5 months ago. I was 30 weeks pregnant, just wanted to change, wanted to do something that scared me. And so I moved here, and it's been amazing. It's been life-changing to get out of my comfort zone, meet people, push myself.
Yeah. Okay, so let me understand this. You're 30 weeks pregnant. You're from San Diego. You relocate into Miami just to restart, reset. Pregnant. Do you have a large network here? Is your family from Miami? Like, what's going on with that?
So I do not have any family here. I had 2 friends, and that's it. So I had no support, really no one. I just knew that I wanted to do something that scared me, that would put me in an environment where I had to grow, where I had to push myself, and I had no other plan B. So it was just going with the original plan, forcing myself to have to just do the work and suffer. And it worked out. So
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So real quick, what would you say is the hardest thing that you had to do when you relocated?
I think it was just the first week. It's like that fear of the unknown. Am I going to make it? I have someone else that I have to take care of. It's not just me. If it's just me, I'm a risk taker all day long. But because there was someone else at play, I had to be very calculated. I had to really push myself to make sure that I was going to be able to pull all this off. So I think it was just having crazy belief in myself, knowing that I can achieve this. I've gotten this far, that I can do this. So I would say just the hardest thing was just the fear and the negotiating in my mind, like, am I going to be able to do this? You know, that's pretty much it.
That's absolutely crazy because most people I know can't even get up out of bed on time. They can't eat 3 meals a day. They can't go for a 30-minute walk. And you relocated entirely across the country, nearly 3,000 miles from San Diego to Miami. What kind of is your mindset, your routine? Like, how are you such a superhero when it comes to just relocating? That's not normal behavior.
It's definitely not normal behavior, but my biggest thing was the person I used to be. I used to be a victim. I used to think everything was happening to me. Why is this stuff, like, I would have the same problem keep perpetuating in my life. And I had bad friendships, toxic, just everything in my life was toxic. So I knew I needed to be accountable, and I knew I needed to change the way that I think in my daily habits. What am I doing daily that is creating this destruction in my life? Because it's me, it's not anyone else. So I started subtracting things out of my life. And the biggest thing for me was, okay, I'm going to make my life very simple so I cannot fail. I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to put amazing food in my body. I'm only going to listen to people that inspire me, that I respect. And I'm going to kick everything toxic out, no matter what it is. And it's just like a switch flipped. And I just was ready to go. I was ready to stop fucking around and being lame. I was being lame for a long time.
Well, I think we're all victims of mistakes in life and bad habits, and at least not all of us, but I know I'm an astonishingly accomplished failure in a lot of ways of life. So what was kind of the behaviors that were leading down the destructive path in your life? Because I believe a lot of people, there's a relationship between the habits that they do that are socially acceptable that are entirely destructive. Your friends won't tell you it's okay to not do certain things while the whole time your life is imploding. I mean, I fell victim to the same thing. I was, for me personally, it was drugs, alcohol, and partying was just distracting me off my success. I'm very well driven, but if I'm focusing on negative energies and I'll get returned back negative, and it's destroying me slowly. So it was alcohol, drugs, partying, and then, chasing females obviously is a huge time waster when applied at masses. Not very proud of it, but I learned is that I needed to remove. So you said a removal process. That's where I'm drawn to, is because most people don't associate. They think they need to gain something. They think it's this piece of knowledge I don't have. It's this behavior I have. Oftentimes, you have all the knowledge. You just need to remove the distractions so that you can focus on the positive, not the negative. So in kind of a high level, what were the traits and the attributes that were pulling you off your course?
For me, it was 100% just the way that I thought. I had a lot of bad friendships that were influencing me. I was also just a very toxic person with the drinking, the alcohol. It's hard when you're in it, you don't see that it's destroying your life. And it's like you're living in this like constant like hamster wheel of destruction. And then it's sometimes most people don't wake up from it, but you realize one day you're like, I am the problem. I am the problem.
Yeah.
I'm the one creating all this chaos.
Yeah.
I'm the reason why I have X, Y, and Z happening. I'm the reason why I'm getting screwed over because I'm not respecting myself. I'm betraying myself. I'm allowing this level of people in my life. So the process of subtracting and getting rid of things, it's a refinement to realize, okay, it's me. It's all me. It's always been me. And like you said, we have all the answers. We all know what to do. We all know we have this process. We're supposed to self-validate and supposed to trust ourselves, but we're so surrounded by chaos and people and influence that we forget what is so important and we forget ourselves. So in this process of being pregnant and having to make big change in my life, I just took as much things out as I could, and I figured out what are the things that make me feel me again. And fitness has always saved me. It's always been something in my life that has brought me closer to myself, closer to God, and it's something that makes me proud. So that was number one. Always will be number one. Getting up earlier. I love the quietness and the peace of getting up early and knowing that no one else is doing that. It's not an average thing.
No, it's really not. And you know, I've been in a lot of crazy places in the world, and I remember being one of the first ones up in Afghanistan, Iraq, out in the mountains, out in the desert. I remember a cup very similar to this one, a metal cup. It was a canteen cup, and we had to take everything with us. You know, we're carrying about 100 pounds of shit throughout these different austere regions. I remember just getting white concentrate coffee mix from Supply. It's just the grossest, pastiest,
Gross.
gnarliest, dried up coffee paste that you could imagine, putting it in water, warming it up with an MRE heater on my little canteen. And I would sit out there. First thing in the morning, I watched the sun kind of crest the horizon before everybody else with that cup of canteen and coffee, and just look out at the battle space and just kind of envision how the day was going to go. It was just running through things that I need to do in my head. But that morning routine and getting up early before the sun is really paramount to productivity. You're just adding in extra hours. One day, 3 hours isn't a lot. 7 days, it's a lot. 30 days, 365 days, 3 years, 30 years into it, you're building massive amounts of productive extra time into your schedule. So that's a really wise attribute that you apply to your life.
I mean, not only that, but it sets the foundation for how you are going to lead your day and how grounded you're going to be in that day, because you took that time to really connect with yourself and made sure that you had a plan. And it makes everything smoother.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. You have to do it to understand, but it makes life easier.
Now, were you always getting up early, or is that just something you adopted over time, or is that just kind of a characteristic trait that you've always had?
No. So the only time I did get up, it was obviously for a job. So I trained for probably a decade in the gym. So there was times I'm getting up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. for years straight. You know, in my 20s, I didn't really drink. I had to be, front and center, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to train clients, working till 9 p.m., then doing my online clients, then doing myself. So it was something that I had to do, but I lost it. There was a short period in my life where I kind of was like a free-for-all. And I think we've all been there, where we've been so disciplined in our life. We've had so many strict things, or like, have we really lived life? And so I went back into these old habits and vices and things. And I'll tell you, it's fun, but you lose yourself in it. You lose who you are, the things that make you you. And that's kind of how I found myself. So jumping back to the things that make me happy, getting up early, helping other people, being of service, growing, pushing myself to be better, moving here, being scared shitless. Like the things that scare me, in life are the things I need to do the most.
Hey, if you're in the Miami area and you're checking out podcasts or interested in podcasts, you guys send me that message. Hit me up on Instagram or hit the website. Drop a message in there or a note, an inquiry about the podcast. The easiest way to grow in 2024 is to get reach and exposure. It doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar or if you're running an online business. So you need to get off of the sidelines and into the game. Send me a message. You're in this local area here. You can check out this studio. You can hit the podcast. And least of all, hit that subscribe button because there's going to be a lot more podcasts in the future. Oh, absolutely. When it's scary, you got to jump. I mean, people are inundated with fear of failure. And I truly believe that that's the ego. The ego is in the way of success. So it's meant to protect you. So too many times in your life, your ego is just shutting you down so you won't face the pain of emotional failure, whatever. It processes it roughly the same. So it's a safeguard. Mm-hmm. When you feel fear and you're worried of failure, that's the time to take that step because that's where growth happens. Growth never happens in the comfort state. You don't grow muscles when it's comfortable. You don't get faster when you're running. You don't improve in your relationships unless you push the envelope of discomfort to force growth and evolution over time. So that's so necessary is to face your fears.
I agree.
What would be, besides that, what would be your greatest fear at this point? Like what is it that you're terrified of?
I think the biggest thing in my life is not reaching my potential and the talent that I do have and being able to impact enough people. And for me, being in San Diego or being in a place where I'm not challenged, I knew that I would not rise to the occasion and make that happen. So I wanted to put myself where I'm in the spotlight, front and center, where I'm forced to just show up. I don't want to go hide in Montana in my house. I don't want to go hide in the country. I know I have a purpose here, and my biggest fear would be wasting my talent in this lifetime.
No, that's a good one. And
it's from my favorite movie too.
What would that be?
It's A Bronx Tale. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I think that's the best quote ever. The saddest
Robert De Niro.
Saddest point of life is wasted talent. But I believe hard work overcomes talent, though.
Absolutely.
It beats it every time. And I was in a similar situation in San Diego where I reached a certain level of success. And San Diego doesn't really push you. It's kind of a beach community. So it's Hakuna Matata, it's laissez-faire.
They call it Sleepy San Diego.
It really is. It's essentially a retirement community almost, minus the military. If you remove the military, it would just be another retirement zone beach community. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that doesn't force growth. That's the exact opposite of, a little fish in a big pond kind of thing. And I moved cross country from San Diego to Miami for sort of press opportunity. I wasn't remotely tapping into my potential. I needed to get around massive entrepreneurs, people doing it way better so that I could see it could be done. Because for me, I'm all action. I'm not philosophical. I don't really dream. I just have an idea and just apply.
Yeah.
That's it. One step better. One step better. That's how I do it. And if I can see someone do it, now I know that the door's open. If I can't see it, I can't envision it. So I need to see people that can do it so I know that it's possible. And once I see how they operate and see the character of the people, I realize they don't have anything I don't have. They're not much better looking. They're not more intelligent. They're not richer. They're not wiser. They have very little attributes that are in any way different than me. They just found something that they mastered and then did it at scale. And that inspires me. So I enjoyed getting around the personalities of the Miami region that were doing big things. We have a lot of billionaires. We have a lot of multimillionaires. We have a lot of piece of shit fucking scammers out there too. And you know who you are, driving around in the fake ass Lambos and the fake yachts and the fake programs and the fake influence and the fake followers. Yeah, I know who you are. We're doing it better here, and we're the people that are real stories, real people, and real life.
Because it's like, what kind of story do you have to tell if you're showing off before you even have it?
Yeah.
It's like the grit of who you are comes from doing the work, being authentic, and showing the process.
Right.
That's a personal brand. It's not, oh, I have it now and let me show it off. No one gives a shit about that. No one fucking cares.
These idiots think that you can
So
show up at
stupid.
the finish line and that's going to connect with the people. You realize is that it's the journey of life,
Always
the
the
failures,
journey.
the successes, the everything in between. Like, how come these people, I don't know anything about their lives? I don't know shit about you. Why are you hiding it? It's because you have something to hide. I don't know about your failed divorce. I don't know about your piece of shit little snot-nosed kid. I don't know what you like to eat. All you're doing is telling me how I should live in front of a Lamborghini or a G63. That's okay. I get it. But the real people show you a window into their life. It's a reality TV show, not a production movie.
Yeah.
Right? It needs to have that realism. And I know without a doubt, 99% of the people are missing that one thing. They're not connecting with the audience by being who they really are.
I agree with you, Clinton. The greatest thing is creating a community. That is where the world is moving, is connection with people, but true connection and not this falseness, fakeness. No one gives a shit. It's going to be so dead that people are going to suffer, especially financially. I can be a testament to this because through this process, I shared everything with my community, to sleeping on the floor, not having my bed, moving here. I mean, struggling. I moved here with my car and my clothes and my dog and 3 plants, nothing else.
Had to bring the plants. Huh?
I had to, because I was so proud in my life. I knew that I'd hit a breaking point when I could keep 3 plants alive for over a year.
Wow, that's a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Poor dog. Poor dog. He's like, Mom, I haven't eaten in 3 days till you forget I'm over here.
My dog is the most spoiled dog.
Yeah.
He eats grass-fed meat, rice. He's dialed in. Don't you worry.
I believe it. You're dialed in. So
Yeah.
You've come cross country. You run a business. You're an entrepreneur. You've been training in person and training online as an online coach. So what is your clientele demographic typically? What's the demographic of clientele? You do mostly mindset for all men that look like me, or is it like little old ladies? What's kind of your demographic of what you're rocking with?
I definitely am in the demographic of more moms, probably 30s, actually even late 20s to even 55. I have some older women that are amazing. But I would say it's moms, business chicks.
Business chicks. Okay.
Who are on the go.
Okay.
Want to stay fit, want to look good. So I'd say that between those two.
Okay. And what would in that demographic, what area of that demographic struggles the most? I mean, I have massive percentage of males. Obviously, my message is very direct. It's not very parsed. So I gravitate towards more males. Obviously, you could tell the way I look. I'm obviously not, the little dainty girls gravitate towards me. It's tough ass chicks. So that being said, where areas are they struggling with the most?
I think the problem is, let's just talk about being a mom and let's talk about taking care of yourself, taking care of a family. It's a tremendous job. There is a lot at play. But I think that there's a lot of, with females, we gossip, we complain to each other. I think there's a lot of this conversation that it's so hard. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. And it's this perpetuated problem that actually doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because anything in life that you want, that you make a priority, can happen. And when I was pregnant, I set myself up with specific habits. So after the baby, I knew how to run my business strategically. I knew how to, get to the gym, take care of myself. Like, I knew all the points of my weaknesses, and I made sure that I was ready. So when they hit me, it wouldn't hurt. I had a system. So that was the first thing. The second thing is, I just feel like a lot of moms kind of make excuses, and it's not even just being a mom, it's just women in general. Like, you make more money when you feel better. You have more energy when you take care of yourself. And I think so many people live in this world where they've given up.
Yeah.
They've given up, and they don't realize, like, your husband wants to be with the version of you that loves yourself. that shows up happy, pretty, peaceful, supportive. You don't want to deal with the chaos you know.
Right. No. How you show up is so important. I think one thing that's super important is a lot of men and women aren't showing up. It's socially acceptable to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 pounds overweight. It's socially acceptable to drink. It's socially acceptable to do drugs. It's socially acceptable to have a bajillion fucking partners. It's socially acceptable to apply degeneracy at every level. And I'm a firsthand eyewitness that none of that's okay because it's destroying you. Imagine if you were healthy, male or female. You took care of your body, you were prideful, your clothes fit right, you would feel better, you would look better, you would live longer, and you would be able to pick up your grandchildren someday when you aged. But that's not what we have. We have people that won't even take off their fucking clothes to go to the beach and put on a swimsuit because they're embarrassed. Then we have Victoria's Secrets and other things talking about it's body comfortable to be, a large plus size person. Okay. So you're propagating diabetes and heart disease. Good for you. Like, that's really not okay, because I draw back is if you just drop the pounds, you feel so much better mentally, right? You look so much better. And then you're confident. How you move in the world is superior. When I go to Europe and I see places like Portugal, France, Italy, the people are a lot leaner and they're way more active. And when I went to Portugal, I saw like a guy, there was a couple, and they were in their 50s. This old fuck was a badass. And I was like, God, this old dude just put me on fucking notice. He's just living his life. And he's like got bicep veins. He's got a great tan. He's in his golf shit, hanging out at the cafe in Portugal. I'm like, fuck. And then his old lady, I was like, she's hot. He's hot. I'm like, God damn. I was like, we are failing massively in the United States, and it's cultural. And I'm glad to see that you're changing the status quo and, drawing a line with your clientele that you can be better, and that if you just commit to being a better you with your habits, everything in the future is going to be better.
It so is. And people don't realize it's that simple. It's whatever you do. So say you go to McDonald's all the time. You're going to crave eating McDonald's. You have sex all the time. You're going to crave having sex. Whatever you do the most in your life, like when you start going to the gym, you start looking good, you crave going to the gym because you're getting that positive feedback. Man, I look good. I feel good. I have more energy. Same for negative things. So you implement habits that support those good feelings. It's only going to bring you further, but you have to subtract the negative stuff.
No, not yeah. Success is a process of subtraction. It's not intuitive, but that's the way it works.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of friends. Yeah. A lot of people, it's funny.
Less is more.
Less is definitely more. Quality over quantity, always.
Yeah, I believe so. Building quality relationships isn't easy. I confused having a lot of friends or just associations as friends. And when the rubber hits the road, you're in the hospital alone. When you're struggling, there's no one that calls or checks up on you because you can't do anything fun. When you stop drinking, they all just disappear. So were they really friends, or were they just being entertained? And the sad truth is you were just the entertainment. And that's good to be aware that most people are consumers. They're not providers of anything. They just take, and they'll take anything. They'll take your life. They'll take your chastity. They'll do anything possible to get an edge on life, and they'll exploit you. And once you understand that sad truth is the nature of most people, now you can take actions to protect yourself and be highly selective of the personalities. Is this person down for the journey of me? Or they really have my best interest out for me? And now you start to be kind of selective of who you let into your world and who you allow to absorb your energy, because at the end of the day, it's an energy exchange. And if you want to give it away, the world will take more than you can provide.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, real quick, one of the questions that came across my desk, since we don't have a lot of females, is obviously not controversial, but since you're representing the female voice, we're going to ask some questions here that our male audience kind of is interested to get the female perspective, because what most women don't understand is men don't understand women. not even a little. I think a lot of women don't even understand themselves, but in general, men have no idea what's going through a female's head. We don't have any of the experiences that they have. We will never go through life with someone who will pay our bills. So like we don't know what it feels like to have every single person check you out when you're doing a RDL or a back squat or a deadlift. We don't know that because we don't get noticed by the world like that. So do you think as a female in this world, I get a lot of the wokeism conversations in social media, and then the red pill shit. I'm really kind of neutral. I'm an old school person. Men provide, we protect, we make babies, we go kill bad guys. Like that's what we do. We're just the animals of the relationship, and the women are more refined and like keep the house. They turn a home into a house, I guess, if you will, or the castle becomes a home. But how do you see that balance? Do you believe that men and women are purely equal, or are there attributes that each gender brings to the success of the relationship?
I do not think men and women are equal. There's no way. It's not possible. And the reason why, I mean, I think biologically women are different than men. So there's certain things that we can do way better than you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Way better. Like obviously birthing a child, having a kid. Like there's a lot of instinctual things that come in with that by nature. So yes, there's a lot of things that you guys cannot do. Obviously the multitasking, there's a lot of, we're more emotional, we're more, not providers, but we're more compassionate, loving, and those things are really important.
Yeah.
But men on the other side of the coin, they do all the things that we can't. Like I can't go to war and fight, and maybe I could, but I don't think it would be as superior as if I were to send you.
Oh yeah, I would enjoy it.
Yeah, you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would not.
Yeah, I enjoy hurting bad people.
Yeah, I would not. I would not enjoy that.
No, I actually agree with you. Men and women aren't equal remotely. Yes, I'm not saying, please, ladies, don't freak out and get me fucking canceled. You should be paid equally for the same job. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying our functions socially are not remotely equal. Women have everything men are missing. Every single thing, from the birthing that you mentioned to the empathy to just everything is almost polar opposites to our personality. They're complementary. It's an evolutionary trait. It's, I don't know if you believe in religion, doesn't really matter, but all mammals complement each other. So it doesn't, it's sad that we actually believe that we're equal and that there's no difference. Well, I don't say we, but socially, that's the message. I don't really agree with it. I think we should just tell the story how it is, whether it hurts. We aren't equal, and we're complementary, and together, male and female or a partnership is superior to the longevity of our species.
We're meant to be together, intertangled with each other, because that is why we are not the same. There's, just like you said, Clinton, we're opposites. There's things that I have that you don't have, and that's what enmeshes us. Yeah. So it's very important. We're like the yin and the yang. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
That doesn't go over well with especially coming from California. There's going to be some. I'm
from California. If you don't hold the door, I'm going to be real pissed.
See, we're not equal. She's never going to hold the door open for me. So why we say we're equal?
Yeah, you don't open my car door. You don't open the door. You don't do certain things. I'm going to be like, well, where
be in the doghouse, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, was he raised in a barn? Like,
I actually kind of was.
Were
but it's okay. I'm working on it.
Shoebox.
I'm working on it. I learned to tie my shoe recently, and I stopped eating crayons, people. So it's just easy. So that was a question that came across my desk. Another one, obviously, that the world's so interested in. And I like to ask this to people, like certain personalities, is their vision of an ideal partner. So in this world, I mean, you're a successful woman, you're attractive. Most men don't understand what women are looking for. They really don't. We think it's the watches and the clout and like the bravado and things like that. So as a professional, attractive person in the world, what is your vision of an ideal male partner in your world?
For me, I think every female is different for what they value. I mean, we're in Miami, so a lot of the chicks lead with money, the looks of things, just that whole image. But for me in my life, all of the things I've been through, I value connection and feeling like I'm with somebody who I respect, I trust, I can, let lead the relationship and give my problems to and know that he can figure them out. Someone who takes care of me, someone who's really funny and you have a good time with. I think these things are really important, and it's not about money. It's not about all those things, because you could be with the richest person in the world and still be miserable. I think the saddest thing is to be in a partnership with someone and feel alone. And I've had that many times in my life because I wasn't leading with being who I am and being genuine. And kind of, I think a lot of women, at least me, I won't speak for all women, but we sometimes give up who we are in a relationship. And I've done that many times. So I think it's just being with someone who sees you and, treats you the way you deserve. And also showing up for that person, being giving. It's not always them providing. It's you providing support, love, caringness, being genuine, and, being there for that person. So, yeah. Is that good?
That's your version. I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah, it's my version.
I don't know. So, that she said, this is interesting, is that she said money doesn't matter. But
okay.
I'm gonna shift the frame a little bit, because we know that's not true, gentlemen. And here's how we're gonna prove it. So would you support your guy? If money doesn't matter, would you support your man? He does everything else, but
okay, you're right.
He doesn't want to work anymore because he loves you so much. So would you support him?
Money does matter. It's money. You're right. Money does matter, because we instinctually want to be with someone who can take care of us, provide for us, protect us. So why would I pick the person who can't do that? And then you're right. Biologically, it doesn't make sense. But if I was with somebody I really believe in, that I know maybe fell on a hard time, and I would help them until we figure it out.
So you'd hold it down?
Yeah, I would hold it down.
That's good.
I would hold it down
expected.
because I wouldn't be with a partner that I wouldn't see is driven, is amazing, that has that mindset to achieve. I wouldn't be with some person who's just kicking their feet up, living off me. No way.
Playing video games.
So
you
living
see,
in his
gentlemen,
mom's basement,
money does
eating
matter.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah, he's
No.
rubbing one out,
No.
playing video games to Jen's Instagram. Like, that's how you fucking creeps do it.
No. No, but life happens, and I would hold it down if I knew I was with a partner who is driven, achieves, and it is a special person. It wouldn't be anyone else.
So
people.
if I were to lose every single component of my success today, my partner better fucking leave me.
Really?
For real. That's a failure. She could do better. She needs to go. I failed her. And that would be the same as my chick getting pregnant by another fucking dude. Okay. That's a failure. That's just an overall massive failure as a partner, and it's not okay. Yeah, that would be a serious fucking issue for me.
Okay.
Is because I don't typically fail, but I would never in my life want to see my miscalculations impact someone I care about. It's not okay. It is just built into me, and that's a very hypothetical situation. We all know that's never gonna fucking happen, but
we know that. We know the way you think. You're like a beautiful mind over here.
Yeah. So the beautiful mind guy, he was crazy.
He was on the spectrum.
Nash was crazy, but he invented game theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was loco.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, you have to be a little loco.
Yeah.
In this business, you have to be different. You have to be crazy. You have to do what other people aren't willing to do.
Yeah. So on success, I took my business down to like $3,000 of operational cash, all the way up from like $250,000. So it's just burning. I have multiple businesses, just burning, trying to focus all this energies over into this new business I was doing, and it wasn't working. And literally the last minute, like not the last minute, but I was close. I mean, I could liquidate. I have assets and shit. I could liquidate and be good. But I took it all the way down to the edge. Then it pieced together. That one month, the moment I pieced it together, it was $10K, and then $15K, and then $7K, and then 20, and then 12, and then 25. It just went back and forth bouncing, but clear trajectory up. And then it doubled. And then it turned into 10 and 20K days.
Do you know how consistent you are though?
I am consistent 18 hours a day, every day for 2.5 decades.
Yeah, this man doesn't stop.
Yeah, I don't give up. Yeah,
No.
I'm obsessive. And that's how I do it is, for me, success is a mathematical problem. I'm highly analytical, logical, and it's just a math problem to solve. And the problem that helps the most, the thing that helps the most in any success is the amount of work that you can do. So if you did 3 hours of work at any skill development, you're only going to get so far if you did it one time a week. Well, try doing that every day. If you just did a few hours of skill development in anything for 6 months, you would be better than, I think it's majority of the planet at that one thing.
99% of people.
It's
Even
crazy.
doing 20 minutes a day of any simple task for the next 365 days makes you 90-something% better than the entire world.
So I'm a psychopath
Yeah.
robot from the future.
Yeah, you are.
I do that task 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, until I look around and there's no one better at it than me. And then I pick a new task.
Well, I think that's the definition of outworking people. It beats talent because you can augment time by doing more in a short amount of time.
Yeah, so where I learned this is I read a book. I can't remember the name of the book.
Is it the
But-
Outliers book?
It might have been. It might have been.
The 10,000 hour rule?
It might have been. And in there, he has this plan to help people go from. So in the book, New Earth and Outliers, same author, there's a concept of 10,000 hours. And in that concept, if you don't know, is basically they run a test against basically savant children that test off the charts. And I actually tested off the charts in math and science, but I couldn't read. So it was hard for me to excel at school because I got bored. I would do the bare minimum to pass, but I was highly mathematical. But I couldn't read. It was just the way my brain works. But what I noticed in that book, which really resonated, was he had a pathway to success, and it had nothing to do with how brilliant you were, which is not something I understood was possible. So when I read this book, I hadn't even attended college because I had always felt different, but kind of dumb because I couldn't really read well. So it was just this weird thing where I was just in my head, low confidence. But I read that book, and he said, oh, if you do 10,000 hours of skill development, you'll reach mastery level because it takes a lifetime, and most people only do so much work, but you can compress that. And if you applied that same system to success, which is the amount of work that you do, it doesn't matter if you're just taking out trash. If you're taking out trash, you're going to make $50,000 a year. But if you work 3 times as hard for a lifetime, you're going to go from low, middle to upper class in one lifetime. The catch is that you won't be able to enjoy it. Your children will, right? So you have to be extremely selfless in your endeavor of success if you want to go from low, middle, and upper class in one lifetime. I applied that system to my own life, the 10,000 hour rule, and that iterative, I don't need more skill, I just need more volume. And you'll develop skill over time naturally. And took me from low class, the lowest amount of money I ever made was a $450 paycheck, to now we have $10,000 and $20,000 days on occasion. I wish every day was like that. I'm not going to front and cap. They're not all like that. There's some days I make no money, but most days we usually sell some type of product or service in that day, anywhere from $600 to $15,000, $20,000 packages. It just depends. It's crazy, but it was volume of work, purely volume of work, and just not giving up. Because every time I wanted to give up, the breakthrough was on the other side. And trust me, there was moments when I didn't want to live. There was moments when I didn't want to take one step in the right direction. I just never gave up. I'm just stubborn, and it worked.
Stubborn. I love that. I actually read that book. My birthday, they say actually in school, there's certain children who are just outliers because of the time that they were born, and they're like a year ahead of their class. So technically, I'd be an outlier. And
Okay.
I always tested above the charts in the gifted and talented. Never had to do my homework, just knew the answers.
I did. This is funny. So it's not funny. It's horribly sad, I guess, but it worked out extremely well for my life. I would count the number of questions and then see the minimum score, and I would only answer up to the minimum score. I had the legally lowest limit allowed to graduate high school. But in college, I think my bachelor's degree, I graduated with like a 3.86, which is pretty good. And then for my master's degree, I think I graduated with a 3.6 or 3.7. So pretty good. So I think I figured it out in college. But high school, I was a total a total train wreck.
I actually never went to a normal high school, so I don't even know. I had to teach myself. I had to memorize the books and then take tests on them because I was in like a private school. I even had my own private teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, mostly because it took me 13 months to pass algebra. That's how bad I was at it.
Yeah, algebra's hard. It's
Everything
foreign.
else good, but I could not.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Most brains struggle with either algebra or
calculus.
geometry, calculus. It's not intuitive. You don't think like that.
No.
Yeah, we're not taught like that style of mathematics and problem solving as children. We're like picture books and shit. In Japan, they teach mathematics entirely differently, so their children excel. A high school graduate is at the same academic level as a senior in college, for the most part. So they just dominate us in college.
They have some reason why they're better at math. It has to do with numbers and their writing.
It's
their
how
language.
they teach them. Yeah, they do go to school 6 days a week, and they teach. We teach. I believe they teach actions. We teach nouns, things. So they teach actions like drinking, and we teach cup, water, shit like that. So they teach more complex concepts younger. And then their mathematics, they start earlier, and they do more of it. Over the years, they work, their schools are year-round. So 6 days a week, at least in Japan. And Japan dominates the U.S. in engineering and mathematics.
I don't know if you know our school system. It's terrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's so bad. I mean, my daughter's not even setting foot in a public school ever.
My daughter went to public school, and she had a little bit of the same challenges with reading that I did.
Yeah.
And we went to Poway, which is a
residential.
It's a of note community. It's one of the highest school districts, or highest accolade school districts in San Diego.
Actually.
Yeah, they perform well, but here's the trick. What they try to do is just pile on the homework, and then if you struggle in any way, they try to take you down a grade. So I remember seeing this thing, and my poor daughter was just like in tears, stressed out, like 5, 6, 7, 8, with like 3-4 hours of homework home. So I tried to like meet their standards for a while, and then it just broke my heart. I'm like, you know what? I was like, fuck you guys. School's not necessary. You're not really teaching them anything that is complex or necessary for the rest of their life. So my daughter's stressed out. I love her. She's not really moving forward in any of the concepts because she's so inundated with like lack of confidence and failure and understanding the concepts at their pace. So I would just write on their homework. I was like, we watched a YouTube video on how to grow a garden. Like functional shit. Like
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to teach my own school with my daughter or my kids and teach them stuff that actually matters, stuff that they can apply to real life.
Exactly. Like I would teach her finances, how to invest, and we would watch YouTube videos on it, like how to invest in your first house, how to buy stocks, how to functionally do stuff. And then I'd write on her homework. We played instead. And then the staff would just go crazy on us. Like, hey, we need to take her down a grade. She's not performing. I was like, hey, shut up. I was like, we're not doing any of that. I was like, can I force her to go to the next grade? You can. I was like, well, that's what we're doing. I was like, is there any point that you cannot push her to the next grade? I was like, nope. I was like, well, then you know the answer. I was like, I'm never taking her down a grade. I don't give a fuck about your stupid metrics. It's like, she's going to be a perfectly functional person in society, regardless if she's doing homework for 3 hours or 0. That's it. It doesn't matter.
I think the entire school system is an indoctrination camp.
Oh, yeah.
It's not meant to actually learn things that you apply to real day life. I think it all needs to be, there needs to dismantle and recreate a whole new system.
Oh, yeah.
So my child is not going to be in that system. So I have to figure that out when I have to cross that road. But for
Private
now,
school, nanny, homeschool.
Montessori or private school or homeschool. I'm willing to do homeschool. I would love to sit and be, I don't know, it's kind of cute. Like a teacher.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I would love to do it.
Homeschool and then a hot Brazilian nanny. I could rock with it. No hot Brazilian nanny.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so then it's just a haggard looking nanny from Colombia or whatever. Okay.
Why does it have to be Colombia?
I don't know.
Is it because we're Miami?
American? I don't know.
What is
Like
she
the
from
Americans
England?
aren't nannies, so it's
What if
usually.
she's German?
I could use a Helga. That'd be great. Helga's,
Olga?
yeah, she's like has a ruler and just like beating knuckles and shit. I'd love that.
No.
Like, yeah, militant. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, the chair's 2 inches not right. Like, get her.
I don't want a militant nanny. I want a nanny that's just like a grandma, sweeter than me, like just so kind and
Well, we
easygoing.
gotta have boundaries.
Yeah.
Children need boundaries.
Yeah,
need love
they
too, but
need
they need
love.
boundaries.
They need
Yeah,
unconditional
they can
love.
have love, but they need to be able to meet standards.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah, militant.
Well, that's where the
Covered.
man comes in.
Covered, aligned. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. And
Yeah.
don't be a little snot nosed. Don't dare. For the love of God, I will not allow a child to talk back to me. You have no life experience. You produce nothing in life. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you see this whole thing is me. Like,
yeah.
yeah, get a job, pay a bill, motherfucker. Like, don't talk back. It's yes, dad. And then later, mom's gonna be like, that was a little harsh. I'm like, you're right. You're right. You're not wrong. I'll be gentler next time.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not gonna have disrespect. My parents were shitty. My parents were not the greatest of people. They were not what I'd be defined as good parents. In most circumstances, not so much my dad, but my mom should have actually lost custody of me to the state for sure. But that being said, my mom was gangster, like straight up gangster, not these fucking internet gangster tough guys out there. She was actually a gangster. She had attempted murder.
Wow.
Attempted murder over her head. I don't know how many of you people have attempted murder over your head, but she actually shot my dad when I was 5 years old. But I never disrespected my parents, even though they were shitty. They were drunkards for a long percentage of their life, or majority time of their life. They were drinking. My dad recovered later, but I never disrespected my mom. I never disrespected my dad. That's not allowed. So if I could apply that level of respect towards my parents and they were not of the greatest caliber, then my child or any child is going to fucking respect me because I earned it, and I'm not going to accept it. It's not okay. That's it. So like that's clear expectations though. It's not accidental. I'm like, you're not going to disrespect me, kid. I was like, speak to me with respect, get your feelings out. I'll listen, but I'm not going to be disrespected by a child because they don't have a say. They really don't have a say in the structure of the household. You're a guest. Even if you're related to me, you're still a guest. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
That's the man perspective. I don't know.
I think it's different.
Mom's different. You gave birth, so like
Yeah,
you're
it's
always like
different.
highly empathetic and like interested in their
Feelings
emotional
and-
state and stuff like that. I don't raise or lead people to be in their feelings. I lead people to survive. You need to be able to park emotions at some level to survive. Oh, it hurts. Life sucks. You moved cross country. You parked all your emotions and took action. It sucked. It was hard, but that's a skill. If you allow the reverse to happen and you just cater to the emotional state, they can't execute. A man's function is to create offspring that can survive absent them. Oftentimes, mothers don't do that well.
I think that males and females are different, like we
Yeah.
said, and I think most females who are children, they need more emotional empathy and they need to have their feelings validated. So they come into the world knowing that they're understood, knowing that, how to even feel, because most people disassociate from the way they feel. And that's a problem too, because when you disassociate from the way you feel and you can't figure out why the fuck do I feel like this, you do shit outside of yourself.
See, I think we come back to the age-old answer: chicken or the egg, husband and wife. This just goes to show you is how valuable a team is, because you have adverse attributes that ultimately will result in the greater success of the offspring. That's it. So having that empathetic voice only is detrimental to the child. I think 100%. I think every statistic suggests that's accurate. And then the male perspective, obviously I'm quite dominant and a little harsh at times. And having a partner that could, we'll just say, deliver it softer would be of great value to the child. There's a time where the alpha is going to snap and they get a little nipped, and then the mom builds back up, right? And that's the point. But I don't think in a scenario where, like, the dad is the punisher. Both parents need to apply punishment equally to the child so that it's a uniform front, right? You can't have a favorite parent, the fun parent or shit. No, it just needs to be, hey, this is the rules. Violate the rules. These are the repercussions. Like, you can't play mommy and daddy.
Well, there has to be consistency.
Yeah, very
and the
consistent.
Consistency is important. So they're not going back and forth and playing you against the other person.
No, 100%.
Because that doesn't work, because then that creates conflict between two people as well.
I agree. Let's see. And is there anything else that you want to leave the world? So we're getting a little short on time. Is there anything that you want to leave your audience, or let the world in on how you see it? Just open up your life a little bit to the world.
You know, just going through this process of changing myself, and I changed myself rather quickly. There was a lot of friends who still think I'm the same person, who still want to hold me to the old self. And I just think the way that the world is set up, so many people are living these normal lives, and they're settling on how much more they could achieve and be, and how much more they can love and dream. And I think the way this world is set up, it's programmed you to be just accepting of what comes at you. And so through this process, I realized if you really want something, I really wanted to be more, do more, you got to be uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to believe in yourself. And so I came here pretty much with no money, no things, just a vision and full belief in myself. And I'm noticing that everything is coming to me because I changed. So what I want to share with the world is just, if you want something in life, you have to go get it, and you have to do what other people aren't willing to do. And that's why there's a 1%, is most people are so conditioned to live and be normal that what I'm doing is weird to them. But what I'm doing should be normal. This should be what people, set their standards at. So I just want to leave you with, I've changed my whole life in 9-10 months, and it's only about to get better. And, I feel like I'm a multi-million-dollar brand that's coming at this world, and I'm not going to stop until, I live to my full potential and help a ton of people.
Boy, that's strong words there. I've seen a lot of influencers out there, a lot of female influencers, and there's a lot of fake individuals on the internet. Jenn here, I know personally. I analyze brands for a living. She's the real deal. It's not fake. She really interacts with her clientele. If you see the feedback from her community, she has built a very passionate community since the internet and online coaching was even a thing. There's massive upside potential in the brand she is building and the connection she's making with people. She has to solve one issue, which is more reach. Yeah. That's it. More reach, more touches, more contacts. There's really not a lot going wrong, but she said something here that's paramount to the success of everybody is you gotta act. She said it multiple times. You all know, you're sitting back watching other people live that dream life. Do you believe in yourself? What's the worst could happen? What is the absolute worst could happen if you picked up the phone and said, Jenn, help me? Yeah. What? You drop 20 pounds, you look at the world different. You maybe drop 50, 100, and now you have confidence back. You feel sexy, you feel powerful, and you know you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I mean, women give birth to children. You're the creators of life. Without women, there is nothing left. And you don't believe you can change, and you don't believe that the greatness that you're capable of is unlimited. I don't understand where that comes from. My mom was powerful. You couldn't tell my mom fucking shit. My dad slapped her around. She picked up a 38 and blasted the dude. Right? That's how powerful women are. Funny, but it is. It's sad. It's funny. I don't know. She was fucking badass. I believe there's that badass in all that women because I've seen it. There's women climb Mount Everest. They stand on stages in bodybuilding. They do MMA. They do all kinds of crazy shit. And they birth children. So I don't think if women don't believe that they're powerful and can accomplish anything they put their mind to, I think you've sold yourself the easy way out. Take that hard road. Take the hard road.
I think women have extreme adaptability to situations, and they sit on their power because of the conversation at hand.
Yeah.
Oh, take it easy. It's okay. Oh, you look good, girl.
Yeah.
Like all of that crap.
Yeah. So I don't lie.
It's limiting. No, I have so many women who are like, oh, you're going to be the best mom. You just need to relax. I'm not going to get where I want to be having people around me tell me to slow down, tell me to relax, tell me I look good, tell me I'm okay. That's how most people get in that place of mediocrity, is because they're like, oh, I look good enough. Oh, I make enough. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Do you really? If I listen to you,
Yeah.
that means I get your life.
I don't
Please
want your
no.
life.
I'd rather nosedive off the top of the move right now than have your basic ass wildebeest looking life. Waking up next to that fat ass fucking dude that is an embarrassment to your entire gene line. No, thank you. I would rather die than live like that. So that's why I show up every single day, is because my son's ripped. All my offspring are going to college. The significant other in my life is badass. The male friends that I have are all badass. Maybe they're not your type of badass, and maybe she's not your type of badass, but they are, and they're my type of badass.
I love that. I'm the same way. I think you pardon people's behavior and you pardon things. It's like you get a low level. Like, why would I want that? I want people to be like, yeah, you can do more. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
like that is what winners, that's how they talk. It's
call
all
you
about.
out. No, we don't do that around here.
Yeah.
Don't do that bullshit. Take that shit the fuck out of here. Like level it up. Like, nope, not approved. This is not brand approved. Get it off the stage.
Yeah.
You're not worthy.
I won't even answer a message like that. If someone comes at me like, you're doing so much, give yourself credit. The second I sit here and cheer for myself, I've just given I don't need to do that. You lose that intensity.
I have a new favorite feature on Instagram.
What is it?
It's this secret hidden feature called
The
the
block.
block button. And I have been blocking like a fucking psychopath. Anybody that has anything to say that doesn't support my page, block. Oh, you have something cute to say? Block. Oh, you disagree? Block. Block,
Guys,
block,
this
block.
is fact. This is actually a factual thing that he does. He weeds out all the people that are time wasters, and it's actually brilliant if you think about it.
Yeah, I don't have time
It's
for
brilliant.
it. You're going to come on my page, creep on all my people, and then get clout and the millions of views I get by leaving a fucking jerk-ass comment on my shit. Block. Like, get out of here. Like, you're not...
wild.
You have a cat photo as a profile picture and then an arm the size of my wrist. Please, for the love of God, do not have an opinion on the type of people I hang around, the cars I like, or the life I want to live, because yours is just non-impressive.
We should come back in 1 year and see how big your block list is.
I hope it's 1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of blocks. I might have to automate that somehow.
Yeah, somehow. They might kick you off from blocking people.
No, they don't do that. I've pressed the limits. I know you can do several hundred a day, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'll have to run the numbers back on my block goal, but maybe it might be about 1,000 a day.
Okay.
I have to hit over 3,000 a day to
Yeah, you
to
got
hit
to
1
talk
million.
to a lot of people to block that many people. That's a sign of like,
Yeah,
it's a good sign.
It's horrible. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to keep up. So I'll close with this. This is not even on topic, but just one of the things that I ran across on a realization is that that I came to is on the page, I'm getting more traffic than I can engage with. And one of the things I really enjoyed with my Instagram page being small was I knew everybody. Like, so I would get a certain number of followers a day and interact with all my favorite people, probably 300 to 1,000 people regularly. And then as the page kind of blew up, that number watered down because I had a disproportionate people inbound to the page. And I can't connect with all of them. So that's like a little bit
kind of
frustrating.
lose that like almost sense of community.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain it, and then you have your ride or die. So that's
that
what I've
always,
noticed. So it's like as the number gets bigger, my ride or dies increases, and I just communicate with. It's about I'd say about 3%.
Yeah, I have a
1 to
certain
3%.
people,
They're like the kind of ride or die, and then the rest are just creeps, just creeping on my shit for whatever reason. I don't know.
What do you think they want?
Fuck, I don't even want to think about what they want. I think they're looking for me to hit those RDLs like they do on your page. Hit those deep squats and those RDLs. I don't know. I don't know what they want. I think I think oftentimes I have a cynical view of it, but a lot of times those people are looking for you to fail. They're looking for their way out.
I think in general, people are looking for others to fail because it highlights their inadequacies. We talked about that.
I don't. With open arms want failure, so I think it makes for a greater story. I could do what I do right now with no home and a flip phone. If I was arrested tomorrow and lost everything and was released in a week, and I just had I get my hands on a fucking flip phone, I know I can make 30 to 50K inside of 7 days.
I know you could.
I know without a doubt. So I think that makes for a cool ass story. Like being in a cardboard box with the homeless people, like trying to steal your shit, and like videography in your life, and like posting it to YouTube. Like, this dude's crazy. He was a millionaire, now he's living in a cardboard box. Like,
maybe we should do that. I'll pick you up and we'll drop you off in the streets, and I'll throw a flip phone at you, a Motorola, one of the Razors, and then give you like some bus money and see what you got.
I know
that would be a great YouTube video.
I know within 7 days, without a doubt, I can make more money than the average man does from the security of their home and their job that they've known for their whole life. Without a doubt, I can bring in more than, what is it? The average American man makes $55K a year, so that's less than 5 G's a month. I can make 5 G's in a week with a fucking flip phone, guaranteed, without even mentioning my name.
I think we should test this theory, but I believe in you. I'll drop you off. I'll give you the ride.
So thank you for coming out. I appreciate you sharing your time with us and the audience and telling your story. I hope we get to have another conversation at some point in the future so you can update the world, what changed in your world, and the positive things that may happen, maybe some of the negative things, or just any new announcements that'll be of worth to see. I would fully expect whatever you're doing in sales this month to be exponentially bigger in the future months. And this is where it is today. And every step, it's just going to be more. And more is not hard.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. And until next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I had fun chatting with you.